Yeah, now we're recording.
Now we're recording. Okay, so you guys
We're a little
missed
out of practice.
2 hours of the show that we did earlier upstairs.
No.
I'm kidding.
We've done it before, but not this time. So we're back. We're back. Welcome to finally another Doomsday Doopy Doo. We had 3 weeks we were gone, maybe?
It felt like longer than that, only because I think
it was 3 weeks though.
we skipped 2 recordings. 1 recording. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, there was Memorial Day.
Yep.
And then I was sick.
Yep.
And I actually
We
got
actually
sick.
before
I was sick
that.
during the last show. The show, yes, I was sick during the last show.
Because we did that show on a Friday. You said on Sunday morning you
Sunday
got
I
up.
was sick. Sunday
You woke up and
my left side of my face wasn't working.
Yeah, he couldn't talk. He actually literally could not talk.
Yeah, I thought I had a stroke. Well, I didn't. It started on Sunday, and it was kind of I felt like in the mirror, my face didn't look right, and when I was blinking, my left eye just was feeling dry, and I was realizing I'm not really blinking with that eye.
Yeah,
and then
it still lags slightly.
It's still
behind
lagging
the other.
behind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was crazy, dude. That was fucking crazy.
Yeah, and it was then. I started to. I mean, it wasn't numb, but I was able to feel everything. I was just losing control of the muscle.
Yeah,
and so I was like, "Oh, this is good. I'm dying." And I wasn't any noise. I mean, any I couldn't speak properly because the noise wouldn't exit my mouth properly because my left side of my mouth wouldn't open.
Yeah, to make the noises that
that my mouth wasn't making. I'm just looking at you. What?
It's something very distinctive hit me when I drank that beer.
Yeah, it's a saison. It's got very distinctive.
Yeah, it was
saison.
It was definitely different. I'm not saying it was bad. I just was enjoying the difference.
Yeah, you like it? I like it.
Yeah,
I like this beer. Every now and then, you can't drink a lot of it.
Yeah, no, it's like the
one bottle with 2 friends. Like this is good.
No, I could drink this whole thing by myself. I probably shouldn't drink it by myself, but I probably could. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't think after the second glass of that you'll be done with this flavor?
No, I would definitely yes, but I could finish. I wouldn't waste any of the bottle. So this is Nick Bart,
I didn't say that.
Ommegang Brewery from Cooperstown, New York,
right.
Home of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Hennepin Farmhouse Saison Ale with spices, and that's what I'm noting is the spices.
Yeah, a lot of saisons they tend to spice, I think, but this is a little maybe spicier.
Coriander, ginger, orange peel, and grains of paradise in a champagne-like effervescence leads to a crisp and dry finish.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's pretty good.
It's good, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, anyways, Nick almost died, and we made fun of it on the show. I was making fun of you on the show.
Wait,
why you were saying my skin hurts?
Oh yeah, everything was hurting.
Yeah.
But even if you go back and listen to the very early shows, I was always complaining about how I was feeling and just, I had a couple of shows where I was just like out of it, remember? And I was just,
you were in and out. Yeah,
I was in and out.
Yeah, your focus was in and out.
I had gotten this bite on the side of my body, but this was like maybe 3 months ago, 2-3 months ago. And it was like, I don't know, it looked all bruised up, which I thought, and then I showed it to you, like, dude, that's a spider bite.
Yeah, well, it was huge. The ring around, like, it wasn't a ring around it.
It
was a ring around your bruise. It was a ring around your whole fucking torso. Dude.
Yeah, my side, like almost up to my armpit, all the way down to my waist.
I went back and I told Nat, I go, he needs to go to a doctor. That's not like
no, because it was growing, and as it was growing, I was like, why is it getting so like that? And then as soon as it started to get like was large enough where it was like going to be concerning, it was also fading.
Yeah, so
I was like,
it's going to go away.
It's going
it's
away.
Getting better.
It's spreading and dissipating and going away. So I said, let me just, I'm allergic. I get allergic to certain things. Maybe a spider bit me. I had a little reaction to it. It's going away. I'm fine. But then I started feeling like, complaining about all those different things. So I said, you know what? Maybe that was a tick and maybe I got Lyme disease.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I got tested on the Thursday, when we recorded on Friday, and then that happened to my face on Sunday, the results, no, I didn't know the results of the Lyme disease test, but Sunday, when I saw that happen in my face, and then woke up Monday, it was even worse.
Yeah.
And I really wasn't blinking. And I had missed, I think I was supposed to post the show and I didn't.
Yeah.
That Friday show. Yeah. I didn't
because
post
you banked
it.
that for a week or I think 2 you held on to that Friday show.
Because before I started even to feel normal, I have the energy to even do it. and after I saw that happen, I ran back to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's now Monday. And that doctor, then at that point, had the results of the Lyme disease test. She walked in, she saw me. She's like, yeah, you have Bell's palsy. And I was like, oh, thank God.
Well,
I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, thank God I have Bell's palsy. But I was waiting for him to say, okay, we're going to send you for a CAT scan. You had a stroke. You know, this is what I was waiting for.
But I mean, when I said, I hope he has Lyme, because you worried that they say, no, you don't have Lyme. You have a fucking tumor on your brain.
Right.
Or your pituitary gland has
cancer. So it's amazing.
Like,
this,
random,
like, you know,
yeah.
And my in-laws were like, oh my God, he's got Lyme disease. I'm like, it's great. You know, so not that I wish Lyme disease on anybody or that I think people, but Lyme, you know,
well,
I'm just saying.
You have it. I don't think you get rid of it for a long time.
I don't know. I didn't, you know, I don't read up. I read up on other people's maladies, not my own. So, because I'd rather not know. But from what the light reading I've done is usually a course of, a long course of heavy antibiotic, and it generally clears it up. It can come back. You have to, you know, sometimes people get it comes back all the time, and and you get it's called some Lyme syndrome. Mm-hmm. That can happen. I don't think that's going to happen to me simply because I don't think that was the bite, and neither does the doctor. The doctor says this Lyme disease is old.
So you had it for a while.
So I remember going back in my mind a bite I had years ago.
Oh, really?
Years ago that had a ring, had the bullet thing, said, I got Lyme disease, and went to the doctor. But then the doctor was like, you're a little too, I took the test, came negative. He said, it came back negative. He goes, but truth be told, he goes, usually you don't get proper results till 6 weeks. He goes, this has only been a month.
Yeah.
He goes, in 2 more weeks, maybe you want to get it done again. I was like, I'm not going back. And I might have had it since then. And all those times where I felt flushed, I'd get like feverish, even though I didn't have a fever. I would get palpitations. My skin would hurt. My joints would hurt. And I just thought I was just getting old.
Yeah.
And I think I was just living with Lyme disease that whole time. So anyway, then they put me on, the Bell's palsy is that nerve on the face. So which can happen from Lyme disease or herpes. Mm. So the doctor was like, I'm going to treat you for herpes too. I'm like, looked at her. She goes, I'm not saying you have herpes. She goes, but if you have herpes, this will clear it up. She goes, she gave me an antiviral. She goes, because we don't know which one. She goes, we don't know which one caused it. She said, most likely it was Lyme disease. You have Lyme disease. We just confirmed that. So 99% that's the case. But just in case, take the antiviral too, just in case you have something else that's causing it.
And your wife's like, motherfucker, you better not goddamn have
So
herpes.
I was on, antiviral. I was on a steroid for my face.
Did they test her? Because obviously if you have herpes, dude.
Well, no, she just figures just give me the freaking medicine and call it a day.
Okay.
So I was with it. I did it.
I mean, I know, I get the
steroids
logic,
are awesome.
Okay, yeah.
Have you ever taken steroids?
I have,
They're fucking great.
Yeah.
Whoever says they're not performance enhancing is fucking out of their minds.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. I felt like I was 20.
Yeah.
I felt great. But I mean, the only thing was that my face, not being able to blink for 2.5 to 3 weeks is very frustrating.
Well, especially if you're on vacation at the beach.
Well, then I had to take the family on vacation. We talked about it. I was so looking forward to that. I still had fun.
Yeah, no, it was fun.
I still had a good time. But I was only at 50% the whole trip.
Yeah, we just left, and I wanted to, Natalie goes, you gonna go check on Nick? I go, you know what? And he wants to be messed with. He's probably laying down, or he doesn't want to be messed with. I said, I'm going to mess with him.
Yeah, no,
I was. Be in his face, you know. And then having the kids there, my kids are always on top of me, so, you know, I'm doing stuff with them 90% of the time.
Well, no, but I mean, it was, you go outside and just like the things you take for granted, like if it's sunny out, you squint.
Yeah.
Not if you can't squint.
Yeah.
So then like I'm squinting in the sunlight, but my left eye, I'm like having to walk around covering it with my left hand when it was sunny out, and it was gorgeous out.
Yeah.
So here it is, a beautiful day. All my friends hanging out, and I can't even, I have sunglasses on. I'm covering one of my eyes every time there's a breeze.
Yeah.
I can't
say wind,
or like if you're on the beach and like a speck of sand is coming, like your eye could react and quickly snatch closed before. Nope. Anything that floats by is going in your eye.
Yeah. I would almost tape that fucker closed.
Well, that's what the doctor said you could do at night.
Yeah. Yeah, because how do you sleep?
Oh, well, you know what I did is I would close it manually with my hand and then smash that side of my face into the pillow.
Oh, Jesus.
So that way the pillow would keep my eyes shut.
So what? You were like James Hetfield. You were sleeping with one eye open, gripping your pillow tight.
Pretty much. Yeah.
He was singing about Bill Palsby all that time?
Yeah, he
I had
was.
no fucking idea, dude.
Yeah. And
I know. I'm
yeah, it took
making light
2.5
of your
weeks.
condition over
No,
here.
it's all right. You want to know how to torture someone who's had a stroke? I know how. You don't feed them for 2 days. You don't feed them for a day, and then you give them peanut butter to eat.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
That's
it involves fingers. You need multiple fingers from both hands. It's pretty fucking gross.
Well, I remember
and pretty frustrating. You can't even do this. You see that?
Yeah,
can't do
it. No,
you can't lick the peanut. So even if when you dig in to get the peanut butter with your finger and scrape it against your bottom teeth, so you can get, and then you still have peanut butter on your finger, and you want to go, you suck it off.
You can't do
nope.
it. Oh, it's a
your finger goes in there and it comes out like this.
But
this is what it does.
You know, there was something that you kept saying that made me laugh, and I didn't want to laugh. But you insist because one of the nights we cooked at our cottage, you made beans and franks.
Franks and beans. What the hell are beans and franks?
But you kept calling them beanie weenie. But you couldn't, and I'm like, call the
some
fucking.
Beans? You guys want some beans?
Yeah, I'm
That's
like, Nick, stop saying beans. Go. Do you guys want some of this? And go, Chris. What is it? It's beans and franks.
It's beans.
It's
Do you guys want some beans?
No, and then you were literally going. You would take your fingers and hold your mouth and go, beanie weenies.
Yeah, I was having to use my hands to talk,
like,
to eat.
I'm like, Nick, you couldn't pick something fucking else to cook that you could fucking say, like,
there's a picture
this
of
is
me.
fried chicken.
There's a picture of me looking down in the pot while you're stirring it up. And I know how I felt looking down. I was looking down that pot, recollecting my childhood. My childhood was rushing back to me. Something that I haven't eaten in like 15 to 20 years maybe. And I knew it was good and it smelled good. And we had a beer in our hand. I'm looking down this thing lovingly, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the picture, I'm looking, because of my face, I'm looking at it like, you can't stir beans, you fuck. Yeah. I'm looking at it with such disdain. Like, I'm looking at it like, this fucking guy doesn't know what he's done with. That's the face I had on.
I had a different view of that face. I felt like I was standing next to Popeye the Sailor.
Oh, no.
You were all fucking clenched up, dude. But anyways.
All right.
So it was a fun vacation, but unfortunately Nick was out of it. And let me tell you, dude, Beanie Weenies, day 2, the reheated Beanie Weenies, because everybody came back to my place the next day.
There wasn't much.
But they added to it, though. They added to the Franks and Beans.
Oh.
And everybody brought different
That was a hit, right? Everyone enjoyed that. I loved it.
And the second night was cool because everybody had a can at their house, and they were all different flavors.
Ah,
so somebody brought like a maple, and somebody brought like a barbecue, and we started mixing them, and it created this whole
other thing.
Yeah. And that last day, everybody was pretty toasted from the amount of just drinking and partying and late nights and running around all day and chasing kids. And we were I fell asleep in the chair, but those Beanie Weenies done that last night, they were so good. Because they were the old ones plus all these new flavors mixed in. It was like we created this whole new fucking
and
thing.
even the kids were eating it, which was fun to watch.
Yeah, no, they were going crazy.
Yeah, Franks and Beans. And it was...
Beanie Weenies.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and we had a mix. I mean, you had 2 kinds. You had the maple.
Yep.
And I had the country style brown sugar,
which is thicker, right? You know?
Yeah. So mine was brown. Yours
mine
was
red.
Soupier.
Yeah. So it was.
And it didn't look them together. Good. No, it did look good once you put them together.
Oh, I don't know. After the next day, day 2, it was lucky it was dark when we were heating them up because they didn't look as good. They tasted great. They looked kind of scary, but the juices and everything worked out, so it was fun.
And then the cobbler came good too.
So we rebooked it. So we'll have a do-over next year.
Should we do the cobbler recipe on the show?
Just make sure that it's moist.
Make sure it's moist.
It's got to be moist. Not damp. Moist.
So I took what is the thing called? Dutch oven.
Dutch oven, yeah.
Cast iron Dutch oven. I opened 2 cans of peaches, sliced peaches. I threw it in. Then I opened I opened a box of yellow cake mix, Duncan Hines, sprinkled it on top. Then I took a bunch of butter. I would say probably at least a stick, maybe a little more, and just dropped little chunks of it all over the top. And then I put the lid on. And then we brushed some coals aside and we threw it in.
We kind of buried it in coals.
And then we threw some coals on top.
Yeah. I wouldn't say
let it go for how long?
I didn't do shit.
No, you were burning your hand making
popcorn.
You tried to fix a Jiffy popcorn that had torn by using actual foil and covering it and then sticking your hand with this thing into the fire.
Yeah.
And melting my fireproof glove.
Yeah. My hand's okay, though.
Your hand, I don't know how your hand's okay.
I have weird temperature tolerance.
Yeah, I don't know how.
And even then it was hot. I knew it was hot. I'm like, this is hot. But yeah, no, it's interesting how that's.
It's great gloves to go camping.
Interesting how the Jiffy Pop is engineered, though, because you're right. I just go, my mind goes, put fucking foil on it. It's the same goddamn thing. But there's they have it packed in there really tight. There's no space for the heat to escape.
The steam,
and the wire ring, I think I unwrapped the wrong shit. Because you have like,
well, you made two mistakes. Can I tell you what your mistakes were?
Tell me what my mistakes
are. Okay. His mistake one was, you made three mistakes. Mistake one is thinking you could do it.
Okay.
Because the reason the Jiffy Pop works is because it's sealed.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only a pinhole that lets the steam out. You got it's an aluminum ring and it's an aluminum pan that's covered with aluminum foil. Aluminum foil does not hold heat.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah. All. Yeah. So the only thing heating and popping that popcorn is really the steam that's inside.
Yes.
So by covering it loosely, and then you also went underneath the pan with the foil. So you further insulated the bottom of the pan from the heat.
So what if I had dropped some oil into it?
And then the third problem was that it was that the foil is flat now against the top. So when the popcorn pops, and then it's got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah, because it's not that flexible, weird foil.
Right. You didn't twist it into that perfect spiral.
Yeah.
So it was never going to happen, but I was curious if you were going to pull it off. So I was just watching to see if you could do it.
I didn't though. You know who pulled it off?
No, but
Sean pulled it off.
Yeah, well, the two of you, it was a joint effort.
We had worked on it for a while, and then I found
then your hand was melting, and you handed it to him, and then he did it for a while.
And then he used your glove for a while.
Until then, right. My glove went down 2 sizes. Anyone who's wondering what happens with a fire retardant glove, it doesn't catch fire, it melts.
Yeah.
And it shrinks. So now it's just 1 size smaller.
Yeah. So the kids could use it.
The kids could use it.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, or I could do everything left-handed because I brought my right-handed glove. Now I'll just switch to my left.
We'll have to invest in a GoFundMe to get you new gloves.
It's all right. I don't keep bringing up the gloves. I'm not doing it for the cost of the glove. I'm doing it out of the amazement that how hot it must have been inside that glove for it to shrink this 2 inches that it shrunk.
Yeah. I don't know.
You don't know. You don't.
No, I don't know. I remember it was hot at times.
But anyway, and then we I don't know how we figured out how long it was. What was it, like 25 minutes, half hour?
Took forever.
It was a half hour.
You're talking about for the pie,
the cobbler.
Yeah, it was 30 minutes of solid work by you. There was constantly doing something with it. I felt like you were constantly.
Well, because I was trying. Yeah, because I wanted to keep. I had one side towards the face in the fire, and then I wanted to rotate it, so I was rotating.
Because you're not working with an oven. You're working with a very directed heat source.
And we're around the campfire. That's part of the fun. Is noodling with something in the fire. That's what we were doing.
Mike did it for hours.
Mike did it for a while. Yeah, you're either feeding the fire or roasting a marshmallow or poking a log or in this case, moving a cobbler around. And it came, I thought it was pretty, it probably could have cooked a little more, I think, but it was plenty
delicious.
Moist.
And it was very moist. Yes.
It was moist. Well, I mean, I was getting very pressured that it was going to get overcooked. Yes. I did that in the camp, in the fire ring, and we had 20 cooks around the fire ring?
Yeah, there were 20 supervisors.
So, and everyone was like, 5 more minutes. No, 2 more. And we were trying to decide how long it was going to be. And don't overcook it and make sure it's moist.
But somehow it came out okay.
No, and it came out fine. It was a fun trip, even though I felt like shit really the whole time.
Yeah.
Which goes to show you how cool the people are that we were with. And the whole experience was so good that you're already booked the end for next year. And I think I told Lisa to book it.
Yeah, no, I think, you should book the cabin next door or something. But
yeah, which was the cabin next door?
There's one right next door. The other people were there. But anyways, yeah, it was a good time. We'll do it again. It's really nice down there. Quiet,
Yep.
Camping, but not really camping.
And the pool was fun. Swim up bar?
Oh, yeah, dude.
That was good.
How'd you like that banana shot we gave you? In the straw.
Oh, my God. That was messed up, man.
Well, it wasn't. We just didn't have time to tell you that you have to do this.
Oh, up and down with the straw. I know. Yes. You gave it to me and all the booze were in the bottom.
Well, you were doing stuff and all of a sudden we had ordered dirty bananas. Because I think ordering all these weird fruity drinks in this pool bar at this campground, yes, it was glamping. It wasn't really camping.
No, there's no camping.
But so we would go. We spend the day at the beach, and then you spend the afternoon at the pool bar, and then you go back to, and then you cook out with
camping,
campfire.
Grilling.
Yeah. So that's what your days are, and then repeat. Right. And so we were with friends and we were trying all the fruity drinks. So we're like, let's have a dirty banana. So they made us dirty bananas, and they forgot to make them dirty. Which means they didn't put the chocolate syrup in the cup first and then put the stuff on top of it. They were clean. So they were like, to make it up for us, they go, oh, we're going to give you guys some, do you want a banana liqueur floater? And we're like, great. And they had these
99 bananas?
I don't know what it was, but they had the thick straw. And then what they did was they poured it in and filled
into
the straw. Yes.
Oh, mother
effer. So that's what you did, dude. You picked up the straw and you sucked.
Well, you handed me his. You want to try a dirty banana? You handed it to me. I was like, sure. And I just stuck my mouth in the straw and sucked it right down. The good thing was
you probably felt pretty good after you got surprised.
I mean, I was on an antiviral and a steroid and an antibiotic.
Yeah, and then you had a nice
and
shot.
then I had a shot of banana liqueur. 99 bananas.
In addition to the other stuff that was in the
right, I was drinking Orange Crushes.
And it was Orange Crushes. Those were really good. Yes, they made some.
Yeah.
They made some good pool bar drinks. But anyways, yeah, Nick sucks the straw. You know, and other people we were saying playfully saying take the straw in your finger and raise it up and down.
Right.
In a provocatively sexual.
Right.
You know,
and that
I was doing it to Mike going, Mike, you got to do this. And Mike goes, I'm not doing that. I go, Mike, you got to do that. And then Mike was doing it and I was laughing because I got Mike to do it. And then you drank the banana liqueur. Then Mike and I go, yeah, Mike goes, yeah, Nick, you got to do this. And I was laughing my ass off because it was just, that's my sophomoric sense of humor is that just amuses me because I've corrupted, now Mike is corrupted and I don't even know if he's doing it on purpose or not, but it's just fucking funny because Mike's going, hey, you got to do this and we're doing this. Meanwhile, there's people looking at us doing this with the straw. We're jerking off a straw. Yeah. So there's these 3 adult men laughing and jerking off a straw.
Jerking off their dirty banana drinks.
Yeah. Because it's already a dirty banana.
There's a little bit left.
You have no idea where the fuck that thing goes. But anyways, it was a nice vacation. Could have been better for Nick, and we'll do it. We got to do over.
Well, we got 4th of July. I'm coming to your house to raise hell.
Oh, wait, do you see my brother-in-law has.
Oh, can you tell your brother-in-law would like to contribute to the firework fund?
Oh, geez. Well, they're already at my house, so you know.
Oh,
there's like 2 pallets of fireworks at my house.
Oh, well, I got to give him some money.
Don't worry,
that's expensive stuff.
No, he loves it. And you can offer it to him. I'll let him tell you no. But
yeah, no, I'm gonna offer him some money.
But yeah, no, that's gonna be a good time. We're gonna have a good time, and it's gonna be smallish small.
So, I'm fine with.
Yeah, we'll be kicking it.
I don't need like a ton of people. I'm
crazy.
fine.
Yeah, me too. So
okay,
we got that.
That's it.
So that
was the Lyme disease, the Bell palsy.
Yeah,
and so I'm here. So. I don't know. You said there was something you want to talk about. I had something exciting and then upsetting happen to me. If there's something, excuse me, I'm burping this hennepin into the mic. If there's something that, well, I don't want to get into
I had some things to talk about, but not, I mean, just general fluffy type things.
Yeah. I haven't seen Endgame.
Yep. And we need to talk about that.
And that's going to get re-released. You said you wanted to go see it. I want to go see it. I don't know how I'm going to do it, though.
So we were going to go see it last night. Me and the boys and I. We couldn't wait anymore. So we were like...
You went again?
We were going to, but we didn't. So we were like, we're going to wait for my brother-in-law to come out that 4th of July week, and we're going to go. The problem is we're going to have a very tight window. You can come, but coordinating
with the window?
Everybody. Coordinating with, because I know Lisa said she wanted to come, and everybody wanted to come. So coordinating everybody being free at the same time is going to be very difficult. So
well, let's just, why does my wife doesn't care about Endgame?
And
when it comes out on video,
Nicholas
has already seen it. James can give 2 craps. So forget about them.
So you're going to sneak away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't factor them in at all.
Because my kids will be there, but don't feel pressure that your kids have to be there.
No. Okay. That's better for me. I'll sit 2-3 rows up.
Yeah. And they're re-releasing it with new footage, so we should totally go. I want to see it again.
Well, I'm going to run out during the credits so I can come back after the credits. Because everything's going to happen after the credits, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to need to run out during the credits. It's long, man.
It's a long amount of credits. It's a 3-hour movie already.
We sat through the credits.
I can't make it through. I can't make it through a podcast episode without paying.
This is true. So you have the bladder of a butterfly.
I do. So I don't know.
So yes, we need to do Endgame. The other bit of fluff. I'm not sure if you read this article.
I'm sorry, but I was listening to the last show.
Okay.
And what's that noise?
The air conditioning?
Oh, I should shut that. That's not good. Sorry, that's very unprofessional. Speaking of which,
I'm going to distract everyone from your unprofessional.
From me opening up my thermostat app to turn off this goddamn heat.
AC? Why are you turning it off?
Because it's making a racket.
Oh, okay. Do you guys hear that? Give us some feedback.
It should be turning off in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Anyways, you were saying you listened to the last show.
Yeah. I don't agree with how we should do the Star Wars and Rocky things.
You don't think we should do it?
I think that it needs to be covered holistically, like you're
one
saying.
movie at a time.
I don't think. No. I think that there is. I think that yes, the first Rocky, I think needs to be covered on its own, and the first Star Wars needs to be covered on its own. I really think they do.
My only thought there is I don't give credit to what I have to say that it will be something that no one else has already made an observation about those movies.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is that in having the conversation, maybe we're agreeing, but it's the we're agreeing using different language.
Mm-hmm.
I think
that's what happens to my wife and I all the time. We argue about something that we're agreeing about.
Yeah.
But we're not realizing that we are agreeing because we can't communicate with each other.
Right. It's all about communication.
It is.
So I think that discussing the story of Star Wars: A New Hope will invariably encompass the Star Wars universe in its entirety. So what I'm saying is I don't think we should cover A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, A Phantom Menace, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
I'm saying the only one worth really diving into to see what made it great would be A New Hope. And then from there, any deficiencies or the direction of the story or any things we love about the story will come out, will grow out of it. Does that make sense? So like Rocky, I'm not sure how long what am I going to say about Rocky 5?
And that's what I'm saying.
What am I going to talk about?
And that's what I'm saying.
4
so
even?
Rocky is one show.
It's a fun
Rocky
movie,
is one show, though. Rocky is not as intricate as Star Wars can be. So Rocky is one show.
Right.
But I'm saying it's Rocky all the way through Creed 2, and we have that whole conversation of the characters.
But I have to see Creed and Creed 2.
Well, that's the other thing. I'm glad you brought this up because the boys and I are ready to pull the trigger
also,
on our
let me ask you
rewatch.
this question.
Okay.
Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
There's another thing I hadn't taken umbrage with.
No.
Why is Creed part of the Rocky universe?
Because so hold on. This is what I was saying.
That's racist.
No, it's not racist.
It is.
Stop. It's not.
No,
so
because
the reason why
Creed is he has his own thing.
But we are taking the journey of the Rocky character from beginning to what might be its end. So if you're looking at no, it's not because the Rocky character is in it and his story continues to almost to the end here. So you get the journey of Rocky from the kid from Philadelphia to the rich guy to the washed up boxer to the restaurant owner to the trainer of this kid. And I think you look at the journey of the character Rocky through the whole thing.
Right.
Also, though, if my analytical mind works, it makes sense, is that's the same journey for Luke Skywalker across the first original trilogy. That's the journey of Obi-Wan across the prequel trilogy and the journey of whomever the main character is.
Well, maybe
or the sequel trilogy.
Maybe. I mean, obviously, there's probably going to be similarities there. But what I'm saying is, there are going to be enormous deficiencies. At least probably for me, like when we start talking about how many Rocky 5, and what happened after Rocky 5?
Rocky Balboa,
which
was very good.
That I didn't see.
Yes.
So
the thing that I wanted to bring up is you will not, because we talk about movies that we barely remember now. We cannot talk about this without having a fresh rewatch in your mind and having fresh thoughts about it too. And I think then you could also have the conversation of when I first watched it, I felt this, and now I watch it again, and we just did it. We were just talking about Nirvana, right? We were just talking about Nirvana, and this is a decent segue into that too, of watching the Nirvana Unplugged show as a kid and thinking, fucking Kurt Cobain, he's so fucked a man, and fuck you, he's so fucking awesome. And then as an adult, you look at him and go, what a fucking little pissant. Because
you're just, like I said, you're just trying to get back at me for my Kevin Smith comments.
No, I really don't. A lot of people don't. My wife doesn't like Kevin Smith. I will not make you change your mind.
Okay.
You know what?
I'm sure there's people who don't like
Kevin
Kurt Cobain
Smith
too.
is mine.
But
I don't have to share.
And Kurt Cobain's mine too. I don't need to share with you. But anyway, listen.
But see, you're taking this like I'm beating up Kurt Cobain. You take this.
Look what you just did. I'm going to play it back. What you just said.
I'll say it again. But
I know. But
you're attacking me like your wife attacked me when I made fun of her T-shirt at fucking St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, what was the T-shirt again?
God, what did it say?
I don't know.
Cobain and Grohl and
what listed all these? Yeah, no, it was a dumb T-shirt. That's a dumb T-shirt.
I didn't say it was a dumb T-shirt.
But it is. It is.
I like the idea. I question
that T-shirt is why Kurt Cobain killed himself.
Probably, yes, it is.
Okay.
Absolutely, he would have hated his name being first. Yeah. I don't think he went Lisa's T-shirt and went.
Yeah, well, no, but he probably saw a million of those T-shirts.
He saw
them all. I might have shot myself.
The grunge Nostradamus.
No, but my point is.
Okay. What are we going back to?
We're going back to how to cover these movies, and I don't think, I don't feel you're taking like these legendary classics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Movies that are really study worthy, and you're packing in with them these money grab class C D things and you're forcing us to discuss those. But you're just forcing us to discuss Rocky V with Rocky. So you want to do the original Rocky? You almost want that's to me sacrilege to the movie Rocky.
But you want to do
Rocky V. The fact that there's a Rocky V is depressing.
But that's what I'm saying, though. I'm not saying if you give Rocky 1 its own episode, which I still question that we could talk an hour about Rocky. I question that we can have that conversation.
No, what I'm saying is. What you're saying about Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Creed 2 will come up naturally in dissecting Rocky itself as a movie. And that it doesn't warrant us covering each movie. Because I'll be honest with you, I refuse to cover Rocky 5 unless you just want me to make fun of it. Well, but
I mean, I think a part of it is, maybe we make fun of it. I mean, Rocky 5 is the bankruptcy fucking movie. It was Rocky is fucking bankrupt.
It was just milky.
He doesn't even go in a ring, right?
No, well, but I don't need him to go in a ring.
But that's what I'm saying. I think if you lump them together, you have enough to say about all of them,
right?
And you can only say the stuff that you have a different take on when it comes to the original Rocky movie, which when you watch it. And this is why I want you to do a rewatch too, is that you watch it and it's not a super fast movie. A ton of things don't happen in the movie.
What movie are you talking about?
Rocky 1.
Rocky 1?
Yeah. There's not.
No, it's a very methodical movie. Yeah.
And its pace is methodical though.
Yes.
You don't get a lot of data or information.
No. You are getting information that you're not aware of.
Oh, okay. Well, I might be interested in hearing you. I mean, look, if you want to, we can try to do it your way.
You're getting a lot of information about Paulie and his relationship with his sister, Rocky and his relationship with Paulie's sister.
You're saying we could talk
Rocky and his relationship with his town.
But we could talk about that. Would it be interesting to anybody else?
America at that time. But that movie was you're getting a lot of different things, and then it culminates with that when that fight starts. I mean, in any movie today. That's the opening scene. Whereas Rocky, the movie, takes you through all that so that when you do get to that fight, it's way more powerful. When that bell rings, I remember when I first watched that movie, and I wasn't when it first came out. I was too young, I think. Mm-hmm. When I first watched that movie, when that bell rang, my heart was in my throat.
No,
I felt like I was in the ring.
I can see my son got affected the same way. But
and no one feels that.
That's all that is what you just described.
Right.
Is character development.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
I can spell it off in one sentence. They do a very good job. The reason why your heart is in your throat, you get a lump in your throat,
right?
Is because you care about Rocky. You want Rocky to win. They make Apollo Creed to be a very interesting character who is both likable. And unlikable at the same time. Yeah, he's unlikable only in what he represents. Because he's cocky and he's arrogant, but he's cocky and he's arrogant because he's good. He's Muhammad Ali, right?
No, he's the establishment in place. He's the wall in front of you. He is what keeps you down. He is what prevents you from reaching who you are. He looks down on you. But he himself is just him. He is who he is. But he's not. But you realize that this person is no better than you. Essentially, I mean that's almost what really the whole movie's about. That's the whole character of Rocky is about. And it's just that. I mean, we can get into Rocky, but I just feel like then you go like from that, and then we could discuss whether or not in Rocky 2 did he need to win the fight, and then in Rocky 3, right now we're in money grab territory. But even though it was fun to watch Rocky 3,
you said though,
but I loved watching Rocky 3 but the only reason I loved watching Rocky 3 is because he was Rocky. And you could drag me along for so long for that. And then Rocky 4, you're still dragging me along a little bit.
Again,
and I still love Rocky.
But you're traveling through, you talked about Rocky 1 was made in a certain time, and it was a capture of that time, right?
Right.
The other movies progressed through the same time because Rocky 4 was set during the 80s when we were in the heart of the Cold War, and that's why you get that kooky fucking speech at the end of it.
Right.
Right? And we're doing a bit of what we want to do with the show anyways, but, you know, I think we can sit down. You're right. Let's sit down and talk about the character of Rocky from his obsession. And that part, I don't disagree with you. Right. Let's focus on the characters. But if we're focusing on the character.
Yeah. I just don't want us to, I don't want to follow all right, well, this movie. Okay. We could talk about Rocky.
Okay.
And we could talk about Star Wars.
Okay. We'll do one.
Right. But I think you start at what made them the classics that they are.
We start with the kickoff movie. You
have to start with A New Hope.
And
you have to start with Rocky 1 because without Rocky 1, there is no Rocky.
Yeah.
So, certainly none of the sequels. So you have to start with that basis because those are the only reason you tuned into Rocky 4 is Rocky 1.
Well, and I'm going to be honest with you. One of the reasons why I watched Creed
was Rocky 1.
Because Rocky was in it.
Right. But the only reason you watch, and
otherwise
it goes all the way back to Rocky 1.
Yes. But that's what I'm saying though. So the character Rocky's journey covers everything. So I agree with you. We'll do it your way. I'm fine with that.
Even a young kid who says, oh, no. Well, for me, it was Rocky 2. Yes, but the only reason you saw Rocky 2, the only reason Rocky 2 is on television for you to watch it is because of Rocky 1. So there's no escaping Rocky 1.
Yeah.
Whereas you could discount every movie after Rocky if you wanted to and be perfectly within reason. Just because they came out doesn't mean that they're part of Rocky's story. The story Rocky is Rocky.
But they are part of
the
movie.
They're
canon, though. They're canon, though. They're made.
Well, there's no canon. There's canon in Rocky?
It's canon. It's all Rocky is a character, and it's canon. If Sylvester Stallone is sitting there as Rocky, he's endorsing that that's the character's development.
Right. No, that is the character's development. But if I watched Rocky and didn't watch all the rest of them, that's still Rocky.
Oh, no, it doesn't change that.
Right, but I can't watch Rocky 3 and say that about Rocky 1.
But here's the cool thing. If you watch Creed 2 and you see Rocky, it's still Rocky, the character's journey. A man's journey through life. I mean, from a kid who has nothing.
I heard
to
Creed
the kid
is very
who has
good. I'm
everything.
not knocking Creed.
It's great. But here's the deal we have to make. We'll do it your way, and that's fine.
I have to watch Creed and Creed 2.
You have to do a rewatch.
A rewatch of all of them.
You rewatch.
Well, I just rewatched Rocky like a couple of weeks ago.
So you got to do 2, 3, and 4. And if you haven't seen Balboa, Creed 1 and Creed 2.
Now here you're talking about now. So that's
come on, dude.
Rocky's 2 hours.
It's not quite
2, 3, 4, 5. Rocky Balboa, Creed 2. 14 hours of movie I have to watch.
You can do that. I just watched
before we do the show. So let me ask you. But
dude,
here's my problem.
How are you going to sit and talk about something that you haven't watched in 10 or 15 years?
I talk about stuff I don't.
But that's where we're not really talking about it. You're going to notice something.
Well, as I said, we're going to have some detriment in Rocky 5 and Balboa. I'm not sure if I could watch Rocky 5 and Balboa.
No, watch. Then
I don't think I need to watch 1, 2, and 3.
Minimally do this. Then minimally you need.
I got to watch the ones I didn't see.
Watch Rocky Balboa, Creed 1 and Creed 2. Now you're talking about half the investment.
That I'll do. That makes sense.
For
me rewatching Rocky 4.
Okay,
I could probably recite the movie, even though I seem to be digging on it.
I'm not going to make you do homework that you don't want to do. I am going to do
only because by the time I got to, if I did that, by the time I got to Creed 2, I would have forgot everything that was in Rocky 5.
You do it how you want to.
In Rocky 5, I just remember being painful.
Rocky 5 is not good. That one I haven't.
And the fact that you're asking me to rewatch that that's hard. If I was a movie critic and I was being paid by a newspaper and I had to go, I would go.
But this is work for the show. There might be a piece of comedy gold in there that you're missing.
Oh, yeah, probably.
That's what.
But I'm just going based on if I work the time for that and get. I want to see Creed and Creed 2. I have to see those.
Yep. No, you want to see Balboa too because there's a reason why I want you to see it.
Okay.
So you should watch Rocky Balboa.
I'll watch Balboa.
Aside from the fact that it's a very good movie.
Right. And then, I don't know. I guess we're going to discuss. Same thing with Star Wars. I have to get into a Jar Jar Binks discussion. you know,
I've already talked to the boys, and we're online to start our rewatch of the Star Wars from Phantom Menace. And Lucas has got the whole.
And then what order are you going to watch them in?
We're going to watch them in the order
that affects the movie.
1, 2, 3. Then we're going to watch Solo. Then we're going to watch.
You're going to watch them in the order.
Rogue One, chronological order.
Yeah.
Then we're going to do New Hope, Empire, Return, Force Awakens, and I think we should build the Star Wars show as build it into this December where the final Saga movie comes out.
Oh, and then watch it and then talk about it.
And then we could talk about that one.
We could. Are you talking marketing right now? Like, and just being. Look at you.
But dude, that's what
that's nice.
My whole plan was
like the Star Wars as it's coming up and as all the hype is building. We should building this whole.
We should be talking about things that people are interested in at the time they release the episodes.
If this was a real freaking podcast, absolutely, we should be doing that.
Well, we should do that.
I think you're right.
So we'll go talk. We can talk about Endgame after you finally see it. But if you don't,
I know. Well, that's the thing.
It's like 2 months after it fucking came out, right?
Yeah, I know. Really, no one.
Or if you watch Game of Thrones in 2 years and you're like up in arms about the end of fucking Game of Thrones, we're talking about it 2 years after everybody.
I'm not watching Game of Thrones. I have no interest even. I have no interest. I tried.
So we should put a stake in the ground. But we should do the Star Wars show maybe towards the end of the year. Be ready to do the Star Wars show towards the end of the year.
I could do that.
And try to time it to where we do
squeeze Creed and Creed 2 in there.
We do our Star Wars show, and then the next episode ends up being us because I'm going to drag your fucking ass out to Rise of Skywalker.
Oh yeah, no,
I will go by ourselves and watch it.
That I tend to make time for.
Okay.
I make time for things, but those movies I don't miss.
Yeah, no, I don't fuck around with the movies
and
that I
don't
want
know
to see
why.
in the theater. I go right away.
Other
than Endgame, I waited because of Lucas's birthday, but I go right away. Like I saw Dark Phoenix right away. Like I run out. It's what I do. It's my thing.
Right.
So we just need to
do
it in a timely way. So you're saying, do we want to prep at some point late summer to do the Rocky show?
We should.
You want to do the Rocky show in a few episodes?
I gotta get started. I mean, there's a lot of Star Wars to watch. I mean, I have 1 through.
But now you're going to rewatch Star Wars, but you're not going to rewatch Rocky 5?
I have 1 through 6. Then 7 and 8 I have. But then now you're talking about Rogue and Solo. Rogue One I've seen.
Yeah, that one you may
twice.
Not. Yeah, you may not have to redo that one.
Solo, you twice. May not Solo, I saw recently.
I'm going to redo them.
But then you're going to blur out character names and be like, who's that? Like, I didn't even remember Woody Harrelson's name was Beckett. He was just like, I didn't remember that.
But that, once again, movies are I don't know if you noticed, but movies are my thing. Like, I'm passionate about movies.
Right.
So I remember everything about movies. I don't remember nothing about anything else in my life.
I'm just saying, be prepared. I may not know a name.
Wasn't that a big part of what we did around the campfire was just throwing out movie shit and laughing about movie lines from different movies. We were doing Caddyshack shit, and so you didn't get much to see.
Well, also I left early.
Why do you hang out with me?
I don't know.
We're very different.
I like movies.
We're very similar.
I like movies.
We're very different.
When I like a movie, I like it as much as you like it. That's the problem. No. And you probably don't run into a lot of people that like something as.
No, you're right. No, there are things. I'm not giving you a hard time about our friendship. I'm busting your balls.
Well, it's starting to feel bad.
So while we're talking about Star Wars,
can I say what happened that was cool?
Go ahead. Go.
And then this is along these lines, right?
Okay.
This is what happened that's cool. I got Windows 10 to recognize my real tone cable for Rocksmith.
Okay.
Couldn't get it to work. Anyone out there who's trying to get this damn cable to work if they're playing Rocksmith on their PCs and it's not working, just go into the recording properties of the device and the volume of the mic. It's a microphone technically to the computer. The volume is set too low. You got to crank it all the way up and set it to its highest quality and save it, and it'll recognize in game. So that was exciting.
And this is a game?
This is a game, Rocksmith. Yeah, you could you connect your real guitar.
Okay.
And it's kind of like Guitar Hero, and but they're actually the actual notes of the songs.
I assume.
So that was exciting because then I was able to play a little bit. And then I came down. This is the depressing part. So I come downstairs and I tell my wife, "Oh, I got Rocksmith working last night. Finally got the real tone cable working." I said it was cool. I was able to. I said I couldn't wait, so I actually learned the entire beginning of Blitzkrieg Bop.
Yeah.
So she says, what's Blitzkrieg Bop?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So that was sort of upsetting.
Okay.
Then I said, Blitzkrieg Bop, the Ramones. She goes, the Ramones? So now my hair's standing up the back of my neck, and I'm starting to question my marriage.
Yeah.
But here's what this is where you blow your mind.
So it got worse?
Well, I started to sing it.
Okay.
I was like, and I was like doing the guitar riff.
Yeah, and it's the same three chords, right?
Right. It is just 3 chords.
They play the same chords.
Yeah. And she had no idea what I was talking about.
Looking at you with that look.
Who could play that? No one's. I assumed everyone's heard that.
Do you know who's obsessed with that song?
Someone's obsessed with the song?
Yeah. My 5-year-old heard it in the new Spider-Man movie.
It's in the what new Spider-Man movie?
The original, the Spider-Man, the Tom Holland Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man, the most recent one.
Far From Home?
Far From Home, no, that's not out yet.
The one that just came out, Homecoming?
Homecoming. They play Blitzkrieg Bop.
They did? I don't remember that.
Well, yeah, because they're showing Coney Island.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and isn't that the Ramones are from...
I don't remember.
I think Coney Island was a big part of whatever. So anyways, they're from Queens and all that shit, so they're playing...
Oops, sorry. I think I just hit one of the levels on the mic.
They're playing... No, you didn't.
Mixer, I mean.
No, you're fine. It's not anywhere near that. But yeah, they're playing Blitzkrieg Bop. And so Dean... Like he was in the movie, they were going, "Hey, oh, yeah, let's go!" Yeah,
my wife has no idea what that is. My wife doesn't know what "Hey ho, let's go" is.
I don't know, man. But
so
didn't Lisa buy tickets?
What's going on with this world?
Didn't Lisa buy tickets to the wrong band? Didn't she do that?
Yeah, she's going to see a band with my cousins that she thought was a completely different band.
Yeah, she thought it was System of a Down.
Right, and it's Shinedown.
It's Shinedown. Right. Yeah, and then she kept saying the song of System of a Down was "Get Up," and I said,
"Right, no."
I go, no,
that's not System of a Down either. That's some other band.
No, it's Wake Up is System of a Down.
It is System of a Down?
Yeah. Wake up. Everyone use a little makeup.
Right.
Yeah. But she kept saying, "Get up."
But that song sucks.
But it is. It's annoying as fucking shit. And I don't, it wasn't System of a Down had like 2 good songs. That was not one of them.
Okay.
But I remember it. But I just remember she kept saying it wrong. And then she also was saying it wrong because she said, and she admitted, she goes, "I bought tickets to the wrong fucking show because I thought it was System of a Down. And it was Shinedown." Right. But now she's listening to Shinedown.
And she's getting into it.
Because she's getting into it. But she has to because she's
going she's going to make herself into it. It's like someone who doesn't like caviar and decides to just keep eating it until they do it.
It's like you putting on Rocky V when you would rather watch anything else. Anything else. But you're like, I have to watch Rocky V because Chris is making me watch Rocky V.
He's going to talk about some restaurant scene.
Yeah, he's going to mention because they throw the spaghetti in Tommy Morrison's face or Tommy whatever his name, and then he punches him in the head, and I don't know. Right. Yeah.
It's not about how many times you get knocked down, so many times you get up.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's the whole movie.
It is. No.
But
we were ruining our show that we haven't even done yet. Anyway,
I have to watch it again. Okay.
So the other thing I want to bring up before we get away from Star Wars too, because there was this interview that somebody had posted the typed out version of. So I guess. Holy shit. I want to say Jim Cameron, not Jim Morrison, because those are 2 different people.
Yes.
Jim Cameron sat down and did a recent interview for a book with George Lucas. And all your talk about
Cameron and Lucas in the same room.
In the same room,
Christ.
And talking about movies.
Oh my God, talking about movies.
Cameron is interviewing him, and he starts to talk about it. And this is your guy who is going to be the guy.
My guy for what?
He's going to give us the great Luke Skywalker story that you didn't get. George Lucas, right? George Lucas made all these movies.
Wait, whoa. I said George Lucas was going to give me the great Skywalker story.
We talked about the idea that someone else was writing the Luke Skywalker story and fucked it up. And we said it wasn't George Lucas writing it. Okay.
Oh no. Well, no. We just brought up that he wasn't the writer.
Yeah, but it was
he wrote 1, 2, and 3.
And
let's not forget.
But we were okay with everything up to 6.
No,
we weren't.
No.
There were bits and pieces in the beginning.
I had problems with Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, you better stop. Anyway, stop doing it. But
anyway, well, that's what I'm saying. You don't. Maybe you misunderstood me.
But I had agreed with you too. We said, you know what? To be fair, George Lucas created the Luke Skywalker's character. He would have had different things he would have done with it, right? And maybe we would be more comfortable with that since it's his character. Maybe we would accept it more.
Well, I took exception to Rian Johnson coming in with his swinging his penis around and doesn't know what the hell he's even doing and just decides to bushwhack the thing.
That's anybody with the character. If you don't like what they did. That's kind of like picking and choosing how you want to criticize something.
No, I don't. No. I think, I guess
Lucas is the creator of Star Wars.
I think, but
he's been the steward of the whole thing.
Who's more of a Star Wars fan, J.J. Abrams or Rian Johnson?
I don't know that I can judge that or that I would want to. I don't know. Also, I don't know if that matters about being a director either. I don't think you have to be a fan of the material to be a good director.
I think you do.
I think you either are or you aren't a good writer and a director.
Absolutely. I think it's a prerequisite. Because in order for me to direct, which is essentially I'm responsible for the end product on the screen.
Yeah.
Something that comes from the story of Star Wars. I better know the shit out of it.
I think.
And better be a fan of it. Even if I say I know the shit out of it, but I'm not a fan, does that mean I hate it? How am I going to make something good?
How can you know?
So I have to be a fan. And if I have to be an enthusiastic fan and want to know enough about it in order for the characters to progress properly through, it's a sequel. If Rian Johnson was making a standalone Star Wars movie, I would agree with you. Then it doesn't matter.
But see,
he's continuing a story, and you're saying that with the story thus far, he needs to not care about?
No, that's not what I said.
Okay. You said he doesn't need to be a fan of? He needs to hate it?
No, I didn't say that either.
Okay, so then I
don't think you need to be an enthusiastic fan to know the material and care for good storytelling. I think you have to be. I think you.
I didn't say that.
I think it needs to get you off.
I said he came in.
You need to be passionate about it, like what it is. But here's the thing, though.
With his self in his mind.
But what you said, though, well, they're all egotists, dude. Look at what the fuck they're doing. They have to have a giant ego. But here's what I'm gonna say, and I just want to get the story out because we're ruining a whole. Like I said, this is all part of the whole Star Wars episode, dude. Is all this?
Don't worry, man. I didn't be recording this.
That would be bad.
No, we're recording.
Okay. Unfortunately for you guys. So, but my point being though is that
we are down to one bar though.
Rian Johnson is never going to have the right answers because fucking George Lucas makes this shit up as he goes along. He has all the answers of the story. And
he doesn't have answers.
He does because it's his world and it's his creation. Everyone else is going to be wrong unless they're on board with him.
No, that's not.
You do know that everything is created, every cartoon, everything up to the point of Force Awakens. Lucas was involved in what was allowed to go out and what wasn't allowed to go out and all that shit.
Of course.
But then he was completely disconnected from the process.
Right.
And then Rian Johnson and Disney was telling them what to do, and they weren't going back to the creator who was like, no, you shouldn't do that. That's not what I thought about the Force should be, right? That's not what I thought Luke Skywalker would be, right? So Rian Johnson did his own thing and nobody liked it. If we discussed, I don't know if you remember it, if Lucas had done that and it had been the same thing, you would have been like, well, it's his creation. I can't argue with him. It's where it's his vision.
No, I wouldn't have said that.
You don't think you would have said.
If it was a bad movie, if it's a bad movie, it's a bad movie. I don't care who wrote it.
Well, let me tell you how lame things would have gotten because what Jim Cameron got out of George Lucas in this interview was what his episode 7, 8, and 9 would have been.
Oh, okay.
Had I, kind of like OJ said, if I had committed a murder, this is how I would have done it.
That's pretty lame that he asked the question.
He asked it. No, it's lame that he asked it, and it's lame that he answered it because a lot of
that's why I said you're looking at two douchebags in the same room. But go ahead.
So get this right. What George Lucas said, his episode 7, 8, or 9 would have been that Luke and Han and Leia were shrunken down like a fantastic voyage. And they went into something's body and met the midichlorians, who were not some micromolecular thing that allowed you to control the universe and all these things, but actually like beings that resided within a Jedi. Like a race of microscopic beings that they had, and a conflict going on within those things. It was Fantastic Voyage with our characters that we love. And I'm like, well, holy shit, what a fucking piece of shit that would have been. Because everyone hated the midichlorians. Like, we were fine with it's a mystical force.
Joking around. That sounds like a joke almost.
The problem is George Lucas is fucking nuts. And he really is nuts. He's a crazy old man now, and he says a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah.
And you don't know. He makes stuff up. He's like, oh, he made something up, and I heard them talking about it on a podcast, and it was like the most absurd thing. I'm like, that just sounds dumb and sounds made up.
Maybe and just getting senile.
Maybe, and he's moved away from it. It's like anything else. Remember when Eddie Murphy used to be hilarious?
Well, when did he stop being hilarious?
Jesus Christ. Pluto Nash, Haunted Mansion.
Jeez, I didn't see any of those.
Dr. Dolittle.
I have a friend that thinks Norbit is the funniest movie on the planet Earth.
No, that's bad. I would say the last one was...
He thinks that that's the greatest thing ever.
The Nutty Professor was probably the last funny thing that Eddie Murphy ever did. Legitimately funny.
Yeah, he did like a lot of bad movies, but
he signed a bad deal.
He signed a bad deal.
But the funniest Eddie Murphy was when he did those two stand-ups, right?
Right.
Delirious
So you don't think
and
you
Raw
don't think
were
so
hilarious.
If he came back into the stand-up, you don't think it'd be great?
I don't think it would. I don't think it would.
I think it would. Be.
I think to be a funny comedian, you need to be in tune with the regular people. I think Eddie Murphy became so fucking rich. How can he relate to what's funny to a millionaire? It's not funny to me in the same way.
Probably
his life is fucking different.
Probably not. But you're talking about high end, super talented comedians. Like they're aware of
if
that.
you're not out doing stand up in the clubs, like
but they do. That's exactly.
Eddie Murphy doesn't though, and he hasn't for years.
Yeah, I know, but
and that's when he stopped being funny.
I think he's starting to do a special, and I think he's
Eddie Murphy's going to do a special.
Yeah, I think he's going to do an hour and a half movie, and I think that he's out right now doing clubs, doing tiny.
If
clubs.
he is, maybe. Because of
like Chris Rock before he does his special,
Chris
does
Rock,
tiny
Chris
shows.
Rock Chris Rock is always out doing tiny shows. Chris Rock is always out doing stand up. Eddie Murphy he was
out of it for a while.
He became a movie star,
right?
And then when you're in Hollywood, you're disconnected from fucking reality. I can't.
Oh, well, I'm sure. Yeah,
and that's my point. Is if there are comedians who do stand up still and do movies and are still very very funny, but Eddie Murphy.
I think if there's anybody who's done that.
Richard Pryor was amazingly funny in the beginning, and he started doing movies and.
But
he went back and forth, but as he moved away from comedy, he stopped being as funny as he was.
I guess maybe Eddie Murphy. I mean, Richard Pryor. Eddie Murphy didn't really. He went from stand up to movies.
Yep.
Who's done stand up, then movies, then back to stand up?
Bill Cosby, but never went back to stand up. Did stand up to television and movies, and then never went back.
Right.
And became less funny.
Because why would you go back? Why would you do that life? That life's a hard life.
I mean, but in order to be legitimately funny, you need to be out amongst the people, because you're going to say a joke in a room full of toadies, and they're going to laugh, and they're going to say, "Oh, you're hilarious, Bill." But when you go into a stand-up comedy club and your shit is not funny, what do? They fucking rip you apart, dude.
Right.
They rip you apart because they will tell you you're not funny. That is not funny.
Well, all I'm saying is that these people work their stuff. Like Joe Rogan's funny.
Rogan does clubs still.
He does clubs constantly.
Exactly. That's why.
But he's also done movies and television.
No, but he always comes back to be in front of those people and to be in touch. And Rogan also is very up to date on everything. I think some of these guys become such big stars, and they go to these places where they're really hidden away from shit. They're insulated from regular people. Mm-hmm. They have all these toadies around them telling them everything they do is awesome.
Like, is Kevin Hart not funny anymore?
I
saw he had a special. He sold out. He sells out like crazy.
Kevin Hart is
he still does
kind of a one-trick pony. Like Kevin Hart, it's about his delivery, and I don't think he's super funny. It's about Kevin Hart. A lot
of stand-up shows, a lot of stand-up movies, and a lot of
Cat
regular
Williams.
movies.
People love Cat
Williams. Williams is another one.
I don't think Cat Williams is funny.
Chris Rock is a movie star.
No, Chris Rock is funny, but Chris Rock never stopped doing clubs, and he did stand-up specials constantly. I think Netflix, in them doing a lot of stand-up specials and funding them, is making it easier for comedians to stay in tune. But that's my take on what's funny. I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
But I don't think Eddie Murphy's been funny for a long fucking time. Like I said.
Well, he's done a lot of bad movies,
and he signed a bad deal with
I don't
Disney
think
too.
that someone as funny as he was suddenly just stops being funny.
Well, the funny thing,
I just feel like he's still that funny bastard. It's just that
the interesting thing, though, is a lot of those stand-ups are not even their stuff. Some of those stand-ups are written for them.
Sure.
A lot of stand-up in general, people have writers that work for them. They write jokes.
Bob Hope
had
hundreds of writers.
Yeah. No, anybody on a nighttime talk show being funny and doing stand-up, they have a room full of fucking writers. Saturday Night Live, room full of fucking writers.
Yeah.
So, sometimes, but I think back in the day, Richard Pryor shit, Bill Cosby shit was stuff.
I went back and listened to Richard Pryor. Watched him too.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't. Maybe it doesn't age well.
I don't know. We still love it. We watch it religiously.
When's the last time you watched it?
Been about a year, probably.
A year? So a year ago you watched Richard Pryor and you were hysterical laughing?
We watched Live on the Sunset Strip and Here and Now. Yeah, and they were both funny.
Live on the Sunset, yeah. I have to watch it again.
I mean,
I remember being disappointed the last time I watched it.
I mean, even Delirious and Raw, we watched that last year too, and they're still very funny stand-ups.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, you talk
Raw has some lulls. But then all of a sudden, it just takes off.
Yeah, and it's mostly
the last 25 minutes of Raw.
His family characters are what drive it, and I think also think that's why it sticks around too, is because it's not, popular figures. It's people in his family that he's doing these characters, and he helps you to understand their fucked up, eccentricities and stuff. And then he, obviously amplifies it up and makes it funny. And now I'm explaining comedy to people like I am a fucking genius, but it's. I think about why stuff is funny, what makes stuff funny. But anyway, so I wanted to tell you that the midichlorians are going to be a major part of this next story arc, and we could have that.
Wait a minute.
This new 7, 8, and 9 that George Lucas was going to make was going to be about the midichlorians.
I really don't think anybody could have. It's going to be hard to satisfy fans of the. It's not a movie anymore. What is it?
Saga.
The saga.
That's what they call
story. It's hard to win in this scenario. You can only lose. So even if you make something that's awesome, you're going to piss off a bunch of people that just felt it should have went a different way.
Yeah.
I get pissed when if you're going to milk me with these characters, then stick to the characters.
Yeah.
If you're going to start taking these characters and you think you're going to start treating them like baseball players, where you just swap jerseys on them, and all of a sudden I'm, the guy I hated I like now because he's wearing the right jersey. It doesn't work that way in movies. Mm-hmm. It works that way in sports, but it just doesn't work that way in movies and books and anything. Stories are more visceral than that, and I think you just need to stick to the characters as best you can. And then if the movie sucks, it sucks. And then I could say it sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I got to watch The Last Jedi again. I don't know why you're complaining about Rocky V.
There is no...
That's like the Last Jedi is like the Rocky V of the Star Wars saga.
There is...
Saga.
Which? What?
The Last Jedi
is
like the Rocky V of the Star Wars saga.
Yeah, I mean... Well, first of all, I mean... The first three episodes, 1, 2, and 3 of Star Wars do not present enough of a push for me to take Anakin and turn him into Darth Vader. I don't even believe how he became Darth Vader, which is upsetting, which is why I felt like, and I think I talked about it last time, I don't need to know. I don't need to know. The movie starts, he's Darth Vader. Something wow. How did the fuck did this? I could live. You
could talk. Let everybody say something different.
Let everyone have in their mind how he became Darth Vader.
But
don't try and explain. But don't mansplain Darth Vader to me.
But they did. But they also did the same thing with the Force because the midichlorians was.
Then they had to
explain.
They did the same thing. They had to explain. He felt the need to explain. So first 1, 2, and 3 are explanations of 4. No one asked for an explanation. Nobody knows.
But there are people who are like, "Tell me what happened before. Tell me," because the minute you start, here's where he went wrong, dude.
Those are the people you're supposed to ignore.
You go and you sit in the movie theater in 1975. The lights go down. The projector starts to play.
Right.
And you see, dun, 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 dun,
right.
Episode 4, A New Hope.
Right. Episode 4. Right.
Episode 4. And you're going, did I have to watch something else?
Exactly.
He fucked himself. Don't put an episode number in there, and then But the minute you say episode 4, people go, "Well, what about episode 1, 2, and 3?"
Well, right.
Why did you do that?
It was a marketing move.
And I think, I believe he may have thought peripherally about what those episodes could be, but I think you're right. He wanted it to be. And he said it many times, like a serial from the 40s and the 50s, like a serial show. And he wanted you to feel like you were a part of a story and a narrative, and that you were kind of jumping in the middle of this galactic conflict. And you didn't have to explain the galactic conflict because, that all happened in episode 1, 2, and 3, obviously. Right. But you get, though, the rational mind says, well, episode 4. And they asked George Lucas a million times, what about episode 1, 2, and 3? Because some people aren't super creative. They want to be told what the story is. They don't want to make the story up in their head. They don't want to connect the dots.
Right.
This is why nobody watched Twin Peaks, right? This is too much thinking for me. I have to think too much about what I'm watching. Avant-garde cinema. I have to think too much about what I'm watching. Sometimes I just want to be told what I want to sit down, and I want to sit down and tune out and be told what I need to know. Don't make me think.
I don't know if that's people.
I think that's the vast majority of people.
Or executives who've run stuff, their art through
you think
focus groups.
The executives are like, oh, these people are stupid. We need to dumb this down.
Right.
You're saying the establishment is but
the establishment makes
people stupid?
People stupid, yeah.
Okay.
And profits from their stupidity.
And I just think people just are lazy. I don't think people are stupid. I just think they're lazy. They want their entertainment to be not like their job. They want to sit down and be entertained. Right. Tell me what I need to know. Tell me who this guy is. Tell me what is. I don't want to be thinking about it. And that's why things that are popular are not.
We've been trained.
Maybe you're right. You're saying the executives have trained society to be lazy.
To be that way.
Okay, it's a conspiracy.
It is.
It's the Illuminati.
But there's also psychological reasons for it. I mean, people gravitate to what they're familiar with. Mm-hmm. Just period.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, if you're releasing a new song, you want to convince the radio station to play a popular song and then your song and then a popular song, because that will make people like your song because they certainly recognize something that's new, sounds a little different, but
they're all sandwiched together.
And then finish on a strong note with something else that they know. And you do that enough times, and then soon that middle song is just as popular as the first one. It's just and this is the way it all gets filtered through that. So I don't know.
Me either. I don't think we're going to get the answers here.
No. The end result is they should have had us write Star Wars 9 and probably 8.
Well, I you know what? I won't say that until I watch 9. I thought 7 was fine.
7 was a remake.
I would like to rewrite 8.
7 was a remake.
I'm interested.
Why
in
are they doing Lion King and live? I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole other.
That's laziness too, though. They just want
to. It's money grabs.
Well, it's easy, right? It's once again creativity. Did
I heard Last Blood's coming out?
Yes, Rambo: Last Blood.
Okay,
yes.
And we're gonna end on that note. Let's end on Last Blood.
Last Blood.
Okay. Doomsday Doopy Doo at Twitter and Gmail.
They drew Last Blood, not me.
Who draws Last Blood?
Well, if you fucking drew Last Blood, somebody dies. Somebody's dead. Are they dead?
Last Blood. Where's Second and Third Blood? Hey, Sylvester Stallone, what about Second and Third Blood?
Wait till they do Judge Dredd Part 3.
Where's Second and Third Blood? What?
What do they do Judge Dredd Part 3? I am the law. I am the law.
You should do him versus Steven Seagal and some.
They have that called it's the Expendables. Have you ever watched the Expendables? They had Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, and Bruce Willis all together. And they were like, here's a bunch of old action stars.
Right. And they put them on a plane with snakes or something.
And they said, no, that's Samuel Jackson.
Okay.
And then they said, where the fuck is Chuck Norris? Was
he there?
No, he wasn't there. He didn't want to do it. Because
that's what that movie's missing.
Chuck Norris could beat the shit out of all three of those guys.
All of them at once.
Yeah.
All right. So, what was I saying? Oh, Doomsday Doopy Doo.
Yep.
Doomsday Doopy Doo, gmail.com.
Yep. Send your feedback.
Talk to us. And tell a friend and leave a review.
Yeah. And
give us some stars.
We have one fan, and not of this show, more of the other show.
We have a fan?
The one that wrote us from the role-playing guy.
Oh yeah, we always say email us, and then somebody emails us, and we
didn't talk about it.
We should read.
But here's the thing, though: we could talk about it here, but it doesn't make sense here. We'd have to talk about it there. So maybe next time we talk about it there.
No, we can talk about it.
Oh no, because we have two separate audiences almost.
Do you think so?
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe,
but we'll talk about that.
I don't know. But we should read that. We should read that. We have a couple of emails and we don't read them.
Yeah, tell us if
it's kind of stupid of us.
How about this? Tell us who's right and wrong here. Who's right? Is Nick right or is Chris right?
It's so obvious.
Yeah, I know. Well, you don't have to admit that I'm right. Though.
No, it's okay.
I forgive you.
All right. Listen,
we have
a lot of barbecue.
We had a barbecue.
I have to marinate some chicken. I'm going to take the skirt steak. I put a little grated garlic, a little soy sauce, a little sesame oil, and a little honey, and a little wine vinegar, rice wine vinegar.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and let it soak.
Okay.
And then we're going to make some chicken. And then when the chicken comes off, we're going to grill up those steaks. And I got a nice piece of Italian bread. We're going to put the steak on. It's going to be great.
Artesian.
It's artisan.
Artesian.
No, it's Italian bread. Okay?
Italian bread?
It's brick oven. It's brick oven Italian bread. skirt steak and a roast and peppers is gonna be great.
All right, you're gonna have to sell me on this marinade because I'm not a marinade.
It's a little
I'm a dry rub guy. I'm more of a dry rub guy.
It's a little ginger, no, but it's a skirt steak. You gotta marinate a little bit, make it a little tender, make it a little soft.
Well,
Sharon likes that stuff.
Oh, she loves it. It's very sexy.
Yeah.
Oh,
kids are coming.
On
that
that
note,
say goodbye.
Goodbye. See you guys.
Wasabi, please, bitches.